Greetings, YouTube. I read something the other day, and it summed up in two sentences, in one brief passage, some of the stark differences between the socially conservative and the progressive worldviews. Progressives want to give free lunches to school children in need, knowing that some will abuse the system. Conservatives don't want any school children to have free lunches because some will abuse the system. And there it is, in two lines, the stark difference between a progressive and a conservative worldview. I'll be kind, I'll say conservative, as if it's socially conservative. That a progressive worldviews understand there will always be cheaters in the system, but the vast majority of people are not cheaters, and they can benefit from the system. Whereas the conservative worldview seems to be, we don't want any cheaters, even though that's not possible, even though that built into the conservative worldview are cheaters, but they like to pretend those cheaters don't exist because it helps further the conservative worldview. And in the process of saying, oh no, we don't want any cheaters, they ignore huge swaths of our culture that need help. And I'm all for an absolute functioning welfare state. I want to make sure that in America, from cradle to grave, that you will never worry for one heartbeat about having somewhere to live, having food, having health care, or having an education. Never. You would never have to worry about that. I heard something the other day that the American dream is twice as likely in Canada. Because in America, we don't give people the support they need. And we downplay the fact that we do give all kinds of breaks to certain peoples. And those certain peoples have had breaks for so long, they don't even think they're getting breaks anymore. If you roll a 7 and you need a 7 on some dice, that's luck. And people don't like to admit that sometimes in America, you roll 7s because you're white, or because you're a guy, or because you were born into a better social class, or because you were born into a neighborhood that has better schools. We don't want to face classism. We don't want to face the endemic built-in racism in America that created the ghettos and things like that. And the progressive worldview is that we need to make improvements and change that. And the conservative is, we need to do nothing because some people might benefit from it and they are cheaters. And that's disturbing. That's heartbreaking. And we see it time and time again in America, where they keep cutting back food needs. They keep cutting back program funds that help the most vulnerable in our culture, in our society. But it's okay for the conservatives, because so long as not one person cheats the system, doesn't matter how many suffer, how many die, how many may be pushed into a cycle of poverty that can last generations, as long as one person doesn't benefit somehow from something they didn't earn. Even though a lot of the people voting for those laws have been rolling 7s their entire lives. And they've done it for so long, they don't even know they're holding the dice anymore.